All right, so we got this YouTuber who doesn't think turn around and do a full body stand, nigga, a full body 180. Okay. Anyways, there's a YouTuber who thinks that Australia doesn't exist. I got you. Hold on. The chair's in my way though, so I'm gonna have to move it. All right, like this. Full 180. Did I do it right? Hell yeah. All right, y'all, let's watch the video. Okay, so apparently this nigga doesn't think that Australia exists.
This is Rag Reynolds. He's a Scottish YouTuber who's convinced that the entire country of Australia doesn't
and
really
niggas
exist.
really watching this
There's no
fucking
proof
shit.
that it exists. It's a fantasy. It's no more real than.
Does Scotland even exist? Nah, y'all is fiending, bruh. Chill, bruh. If y'all want to see real content, bruh, y'all know where to go, nigga.
Narnia.
And while he'd eventually get into arguments with other large Australian creators, host podcasts in which he'd tell Australians that they weren't real, and even attempt to visit the non-existent country himself, his conspiracy theory began to develop on the 22nd of April 2014.
I feel like this is just for clout at this point, bruh. Come on.
When he'd start to express his hatred for the country.
If you
Nigga just hate the country. Oh my god.
could destroy one country in the world, which would it be? This is without a doubt the easiest
Without a doubt.
question to ever answer, because the answer is Australia. That country is a waste of space. That country is the worst place on earth.
This maybe he's from Australia and he had to escape and that's why he doesn't like it no more. You know?
Australia. Bad.
That clip comes from one of the earliest videos posted to Rag Reynolds' channel, and it highlights it in the beginning. Although he clearly hated Australia, he still considered it a real place. Yet this hatred wasn't only confined to his
I think he just
channel.
hates it, I ain't gonna
tweets
lie,
such
bro.
As a public service, I will personally burn Australia to the
What the
ground. Let's
fuck?
send Australia to space, as well as one final
Bro,
banger
this nigga in Scotland talking about Australia doesn't exist, bro. Come on, bro. That's kind of ironic, right?
reading, if Australia wins Eurovision, I will drown one puppy and burn one baby for every point they win by. Rag Reynolds didn't specify exactly where this hatred had come from, although as time progressed, his dislike for the country only continued to grow. Just over 2 years after initially stating that he'd like to burn Australia to the ground,
nigga's
he
hair
uploaded a
grew?
new
What
video
the
simply
fuck?
titled Down with Australia, in which he began to outline why he hated the country so much, with his first point being that we simply have an annoying accent.
Australians have the same.
Did y'all just hear this nigga's accent, bro, from Scotland, bro? And they got an annoying accent. Come on now, bro.
Irritating accents on earth.
That's true. They didn't take the walk to Australia. He mad. He mad over that bullshit,
Beaten
bro.
only by South Africans. Every time I hear a pathetic Australian say "my," I just want to punch them in their good-for-nothing liver, since it's common knowledge that all Australians
Bro, I don't think punch can be in your vocabulary. I don't think you can do that action, bro. Maybe play League of Legends, though. Hey,
are alcoholics.
that sounds like
Punch to an
something better.
Australian's liver would most likely be fatal.
Before he display a map showing that Australians have an average IQ of 60, being the lowest out of any country in
Damn,
the
they
entire
dumb
world.
as
Speaking
hell.
of how dumb Australians are, the image on screen now is an IQ map of the world. As you can see, Australia has the lowest average IQ out of every single country on the planet.
Okay,
Yeah, while these
that
points
makes
showed
sense.
that Rag Reynolds still believed in Australia's existence, it wasn't going to stay like this for much longer. Only 8 months after uploading Down with Australia, Rag Reynolds' hatred for the country would transform into the belief that Australia
thumbnail.
didn't exist at all.
I was certainly pretty mad over the existence of Australia, and then without warning, I came across some guy on Twitter claiming that Australia does not exist. This was a theory I had never even considered prior to that moment. I just found out that Australia isn't actually a real place. Can't believe I was mad about
nigga
that place for so
delusional,
long.
bro.
It all makes sense.
Why he
now.
look like that, bro?
Rag
That's a
Reynolds,
good
am an
question, bro.
Australia denier.
Now, Rag Reynolds' disbelief in Australia wasn't exactly an original idea. He even claimed in the previous clip that his theory had been inspired by another user on Twitter. In fact, the conspiracy theory dates all the way back to November of
Holy
2006,
shit,
when the following
my
post...
nigga. 2006, bro. How old is you now? This is what I would do to get clout. I mean, I would too, eh? But this nigga is delusional.
Was made to the Flat Earth forums. Most of you have probably been brought up believing in the imaginary land called Australia. I bet many of you even learned about it in school. Well, the fact is that Australia doesn't really exist. Everything you've ever heard about it was made up, and any pictures of it you have seen were faked by the government. I'm sure you've even talked to people on the internet who claim to be from Australia. They are really secret government agents who are surfing the internet to enforce these false beliefs. We're not exactly sure why the government made up an imaginary continent, or why it is trying to convince the world that this continent is real, but we can tell you that we know for a fact that Australia doesn't really exist.
How do we know for a fact?
To convince the world of
That's
the
my
truth.
question.
However, as you might be able to gather from this reply, there wasn't exactly all that much evidence for the theory. There was one individual who posted a world map with and without Australia in the bottom right-hand corner, and while this didn't exactly constitute evidence, the lack of proof for the theory hasn't stopped a select group of people from believing it to be true. In April of 2018, more than 200 individuals.
Look at the nigga, bro. Is he even real, bro? Come on, bro. It don't make sense, bro. Look at
discuss
him.
Whether or not Australia was real, and while it's easy to laugh and scorn from a distance, one of the attendees actually had a pretty reasonable argument for why the theory
They should for real make a new continent. Like what?
Theory might be true. Australia is not real. It's a hoax made for us to believe that Britain moved over their criminals to some place. In reality, all these criminals were loaded off the ships into the waters, drowning before they could see land ever again. It's a cover-up for one of the greatest mass murders in history, made by one of the most prominent empires. Now, to give credit where credit is due, this post establishes a pretty solid motive for why someone might have wanted to fake the country.
That kind of does make sense.
As the post continued, it only got wackier, and the credibility began to crumble. Your Australian friends, they're all actors and computer-generated personas, part of the plot to trick the world. If you think you've ever been to Australia, you're terribly wrong. The plane pilots are all in on this, and have in all actuality only flown you to islands close nearby, or in some cases parts of South America, where they have cleared space and hired actors to act out as real Australians. However, this is the point
that is true though. How does it explain kangaroos? Where did kangaroos come from? How does that, like, come on, bro. When I was a kid, I used to think that the sun and moon were married, then got divorced. That's why they appear in separate times. Ooh, that made... Whoever told you that was kind of on that shit. That was
Reynolds
smart.
begins
That's
to
smart.
stand out as unique, as he actually has his own theory for why Australia has been faked.
I really want to know why.
The founder of New Zealand hated how his people sounded when they spoke. It was necessary to make their country known as anything other than the worst
like, I
perceived
can't
country
take him serious with the Scotland goddamn accent, bro. What the fuck?
known to man. So he got his council together and they put together a plan. They were going to take all of the worst parts of their culture, make it 50 times worse, ingrain it into the minds of 100 citizens with the lowest IQs, and then put those people into an abandoned city together with cameras on them 24/7.
The nigga is trying too hard, bro. He's trying too hard.
New Zealand had essentially set out to create a faux reality show in order to fool the world into thinking that there was a place worse than their homeland.
Rag Reynolds would then go on to add that Australia's unique wildlife, such as kangaroos, have been roboticized by New Zealand in order to reinforce the lie.
They decided
Alright, buddy.
it might be a good idea to start introducing strange new animals, so they created the robotic creature that we know today as a kangaroo.
With his evidence for this claim being a debate.org poll.
A poll shows that people are beginning to actually wake up and realise the truth that there's no Australia. 37% think yes, but 63% say no. A compelling argument is made here by a user going by the name of Massive Dump.
Rag Reynolds' conspiracy.
Stop the video. This nigga's a retard. No, let's just listen to him. Let's just listen to him. You know what I'm saying?
Theory pitch would receive a dislike ratio of over 9.
Oh, shit. Damn. Niggas hated it. Okay.
4%. However, the comments were surprisingly supportive. Being an Australian myself, I completely agree with this theory. I'm totally not a secret robot living on planet Oogly Boogly. Being from Australia, I'm shocked that such a genius found out our secret. We are all not real. Thank you for enlightening me on the heinous truth about Australia. I no longer think that it exists. Thank you, Rag Reynolds. However, while these Australians had successfully been convinced that they didn't actually exist, others need.
So this entire video is just like a troll video?
A little more persuading, which led to a Rag Reynolds podcast episode on which he would invite 3 different Australians to argue about whether or not they existed.
This nigga was milking it, bro.
Self-proclaimed Australians, as they're going to attempt to explain to me just why they think that Australia is a real place.
While the people on the podcast made some pretty reasonable points, Rag Reynolds couldn't be convinced. And if any,
bro, this entire video is a troll vid, bro. Even the nigga making this video that I'm looking at right now is a troll.
Judging by these videos, it would only
his name is Ragry Reynolds.
further strengthen his belief that Australia wasn't real. However, it would be with these videos that the hornet's nest was stirred up, as shortly after posting them, other larger YouTubers began to make videos on the stupidity of Rag Reynolds' theory. The third largest YouTuber in Australia, Laserbeam, would upload a video titled "It Turns Out Australia is..."
You see what I mean, bro? Hey, he's smart for this though. He really did all of this shit just to get some clout, and he got it. Got it.
No one's given literally any evidence. Nothing. They've just yelled at me and said it's fake.
Prompting a response titled, "Dear Laserbeam, you are delusional."
He thinks he is from a place that he is not really from. He is clearly just drugged up. He does not seem to
That's crazy, I ain't gonna lie. Saying he's drugged up is crazy.
understand logic, reason. He ignores facts.
Which was followed by Rag Reynolds getting into a full-blown YouTube war with one of Australia's most patriotic creators, Isaac Butterfield,
shit.
leading both of them to argue about the theory on Isaac's podcast.
Maybe I've been coming at you from the wrong
This nigga, okay, that was kind of fine.
orientation, so I hope that maybe today I could fix that.
It seemed as though Rag Reynolds was never going to change his mind on
He's a troll, bro.
Australia's existence. However, shortly after beefing with these larger creators, the first sign of him coming back to reality appeared, specifically when he'd upload a video simply titled "I Was Wrong."
And now it's all starting to make a bit more sense. And now I don't know what to think. My main piece of evidence, my own experience, is not actual evidence. It's not what I thought it was. All I have left is speculation and theories.
And when looking at the comments on the video, one highlighted the most effective way for Rag
And this video still got 3K dislikes. Holy shit.
Reynolds to confirm whether or not his suspicions were true. Why not book a ticket to Australia to see it for real? And this is exactly what he would do, although apparently this would only reinforce to Rag Reynolds that the country was in fact fake. He'd explain all of this in a video titled "I Went to Australia, It Isn't Real," in which he'd explained that during his trip, he had seen some things leading him to believe that it was a real place.
I ain't gonna lie, he is subbed though.
Although ultimately he believed that he had been drugged by the New Zealand government and the whole thing was simply a hallucination.
When people go to Australia, they're actually landing in New Zealand. They are drugged. They imagine all of the experiences there.
Naturally, his audience began to call him out by stating that he never even went there in the first place, resulting in Rag Reynolds taking a polygraph test to confirm that he had in fact been to Australia.
I am a truth talker. Everything I say in my videos is the truth, and this polygraph test has just confirmed that.
However, by this point, it seemed as though the criticism was getting all too much for him. In September of 2020, Rag Reynolds would upload a video titled "I'm..."
Damn, he pussy. He pussy. I would have kept going. I would have kept going with this goddamn lie, bro. He too pussy, bro.
Sorry, Australia.
This nigga sold at his greatest moment in life. This nigga a bitch.
In which he'd explained that he was struggling to deal with the negativity.
The hate I get, folks, the abuse I get in my comment section on every single video, people disliking my videos.
What the hell did you expect, bitch? Like, what the hell?
Instagram DMs, there's people being horrible to me. I don't know where it ends. It just goes on and it goes on, and it never seems to stop.
And that maybe after everything, he was in the wrong and
Nigga wasn't a real troll, bruh. He can't take the heat, bruh. This nigga
was time
pussy.
to apologize.
So maybe you people are right. It's time for me to issue the first apology of my entire life.
This apology would come in one final video titled "Australia Does Exist," during which, after all of this time,
This nigga pussy, bruh. What is the point in this entire fucking video? I don't want to hear about a nigga who can't fucking take, like, goddamn, back himself up. This nigga got no backbone, bruh. He ain't real, bruh.
Rag Reynolds would finally admit that Australia was a real
Get this
place.
bullshit out of my
Australia
face.
is real. Of course it's a real place. You can see pictures of it from satellites in space. They have lovely wildlife. And I would like to apologize to all Australians out there. Australians, Australia, I am sorry.
Now, please, I don't, after watching this video, I don't even go into the discussion about flat earthers, my nigga.
Only Rag Reynolds was
Let's
very
not.
careful about the date on which this video was uploaded. April 1st, also known as
shit.
April Fool's Day.
April Fools! You're all drugged up and brainwashed.
And to this day,
Oh, shit. Hold on, maybe I was
Rag Reynolds
wrong.
is still convinced that Australia isn't real.
Nigga is the real troll. Oh shit. Hold on. He is the troll.